Hi there, how are you? Oh, you did, eh? And that was a pre-recorded one. I'm doing another live one in about 10 minutes, so I got to get ready to go. But yeah. Well, I'm glad you liked it. Fantastic, Art. So I sent you. If you feel like watching it live or just checking in, the show will be largely the same. It'll be largely the same. Not much difference. It'll be about the same. Maybe a few. It will be the same. The same. Okay? Go to your email. I sent you an email. Click on the link in the email. That might work. Okay? Just check it out. Well, we'll just check it out for 5 minutes. I do it now just to see if it works. I gotta go to work now. Okay, I gotta go to work now, so I gotta hang up. But just for 5 minutes, go online and just check to see if the link works. Okay, take care now. Thanks, man. Thanks, that's awesome. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Check, check, check. Yep, that's right. Yes, indeed. I think that's about ready. I think I'm about ready to go. Let me just make a couple of adjustments here. And I think there we go. Got some people coming in already. That's awesome. All right, then, ladies and gentlemen, I got my celebratory drink right here because it's such a pleasure to be with you today. I'm having a fine old time. And I want to welcome you to the little studio that we built here in, oops, in my basement. And play a couple songs. Now, it's difficult for me, all the feed and everything like that is coming off on the computer over there, and it's difficult for me to read it from where I'm sitting. So if you're making requests, that may be difficult. But I'm going to try to nail all the bases, as it were. I'm going to try to bring the people what they want. I start off with a little number called In With the Blues. It's something that I haven't actually had a chance to record, but we've been doing it a lot in our live shows in the Toronto area. So it's started to become a bit of an opening song. It helps me relax. It's just a little blues number. And it goes like this. I had a gal in Baton Rouge who used to want to go cruising every night of my 68 Chevelle. With the windows rolled down and the music up loud, smoking skunk and getting real swell. Well, she found out she could trade up to a continental ragtop. She drove it off the lot that same afternoon. Well, she hit that open road, and it was out with the old and blues. Here we go now. He was a Brooklyn Valentino in a sharp rim Borsalino and a hooked and crooked crocodile smile, cracking wise and telling lies with those chocolate brown eyes and a rough and lazy lullaby jive. And how many times had I heard that she would always prefer a man who pulls them trusty and true. Well, she strapped on that gigolo, and it was out with the out and our love is forever. And she meant it when she said it. Ah, but the shifting sands of circumstance make it likely she'll forget it. I was the one, not the one. I was fortune's favorite son. I was bold to a bell in Baton Rouge. But now our love has gone cold, and so it's out with the out and up. Hey, with the blues I said and that was called In With the Blues. And yes, there's a bird in here. I don't know whether you spotted that or not, but yes. I didn't think he'd come downstairs, but I guess he did. What do you know? So there you go. It's I started a little bit earlier, so we can get into some more songs. So I hope you're loving it. This is something that we did in the other show that went over quite well. This is called the Jelly Song. Starts off like this. Here we go. Let me just make a mild adjustment to myself here. It's that jelly roll that's got me in a jam. Well, it's a quarter past dinner time, and I've got me this plan. Oh, to go and place an order with my sweet Suzanne. I'll tell her, baby, you can cook it like no other gal can. Let me be your ever-loving, hugging, big hungry man. But don't you spread that jelly too thin. No, no, don't you spread that jelly too thin. I know the other fellas like to eat at your counter. Don't you spread it, don't you spread it too thin. Now don't you spread that jelly too thin. No, no, don't you spread that jelly too thin. Our deliveries are easy and the skid is hot and greasy. Don't you spread them, don't you spread it, don't you spread it too thin. Here we go now. I love the cornmeal biscuits and raspberry jam. I like to lick the shine right off a honey glazed ham. Give me a Coney Island red house round up in the pan, and add a heaping helping of my sweet Suzanne. But don't you spread that jelly too thin. No, no, don't you spread that jelly too thin. I know the other fellas like to eat at your counter. Don't you spread it, don't you spread it too thin. Now don't you spread that jelly too thin. No, no, don't you spread that jelly too thin. I see the butter melting on that hot corn muffin. Don't you spread it, don't you spread it too thin. One more time. Yes, indeed. I'll do it one more time like that. She got a bigger bumper nickel, baby, that's no lying. If you don't want to do it, she'll take some other guy. Cause if she opened up a dime, they'd be standing in line shouting, hey, Susan mama now, oh my, my. But don't you spread that jelly too thin. No, no, don't you spread that jelly too thin. I know the other fellas like to eat at your counter. Don't you spread Don't you spread it too thin. Now don't you spread that jelly too thin. No, no, don't you spread that jelly too thin. See the butter melting on that hot corn muffin. Don't you spread it too thin. And there we go. I just realized I'm not quite in the optimum light here. I'm going to move up a tad. So we had another show earlier today, and I sort of moved some things around, not thinking about stuff like this. That's a little bit better. I'm staring at the screen at myself. I now see why everybody thinks I make such funny faces when I'm singing. I do, don't I? Oh well. So I'm in on the joke now. Good. Here we go. For this one, I was mentioning earlier today, I was approached recently by someone who was asking me why I don't use a thumb pick. I think that they were referring to the fact that I tend to play a little bit like a folk player named Doc Watson, who had a certain amount of popularity in the 60s and the 70s. And I think I swing a little bit more than Doc Watson, but he had a thumb pick, and I don't. And the reason why I tend to stay away from thumb picks is because I do love the sound of just the flesh of the finger of the thumb against the string. When played right, it sounds a little bit like an old bass fiddle. It sounds, you know. It's an effect you don't get with a pick. Blackboard, way up in the sky. When you turn the laser circle, you turn a blind eye. Looking down the one you saw me at the corner, 5 and dime. Way up the neck and nose floating in the corner of my mind. I hear the blackboard singing. Who mills these chains? I hear the blackboard crying. Who fans these flames? Blackbird like the riddle, but he ain't never gonna tell about a drowsy purgatory and the road out of hell. I'm singing so long, Papa, so long. When you get up in the morning, I'll be done long gone. When the frog of the rushes sings a rusty bag of shell, I'll be walking like a Texan on the road out of hell. Hey, Brother Badger, who's that calling me from the gravel, in the shadows, from the thistles and the weeds? The song of the cicada, in the flabby summer heat, and the dust devil spinning in the middle of the street. I'm asking, hey, Brother Badger, tell me, is it true, all that ghosts in the alley? Are there angels on the roof? Does the wind pine really whisper fairly well? Does a long crooked bow point to the road out of hell? I'm singing so long, baby, so long. When you get up in the morning, I'll be done long gone with the frog in the Russian. I'll be walking like a Texan on the road out of hell. One more time like blackbird singing in the trees, sing a song about a schema and the dark epiphany. Come the break of the dawn, there'll be one less slippery soul to flounder in the darkness and to stumble in the coals. Well, magic here, the blackbird swinging in the pine, sing a song about a schema and a race against time. In the still of the morning, you can hear those angels yell, waking up the dreamers on the road out of hell. So long, Papa, so long. So long, Papa, so long. I'll be walking like a Texan on the road out of hell. And there you have it, Road Out of Hell. The next one I'm going to do is more of a soul number, really. It's many of you will recognize it. We've been doing it live a lot, and it's been going over very well. And the acoustic guitar version sounds pretty cool too. So let me just take a second to get this one down. This is Music in the Street. And oh, by the way, a version of the song was recorded recently by a band out of Toronto called the Special Interest Group. If you Google them, that's the Special Interest Group. I believe they've got Kevin Barrett's on guitar in that band. And yeah, so you can Google him too. And I'm sure you'll be able to find their latest record that they released. And on it is their version of the song. I'm sure it sounds different than this, but nonetheless. This is Music in the Street. And it's a good song for this day and age, I think. I think that regardless of everything that's going on, I think all of us are starting to admit there's a real need for change. This can't continue like this. I hear the music when I'm walking down the street. I hear the sound of a sweet melody, and a single voice, Lord, could start a revolution. And I do believe in the song, and I do believe the time has come. I hear the sound of people aching to be free. I see the power and the numbers in the street, and a single voice, Lord, could start a revolution. And I do believe in the song, and I do believe the time has come. Let me hear you singing, yeah, oh yeah. Raise your hands up high, raise your hands up high. Let me hear you singing, yeah, oh yeah. Lord, raise your hands up, your hands up, your hands up high now. I hear a voice that's doubtful. I hear another one that is afraid. Measuring the gains against the things they take away. But you can't tell me that all that money's better on a better world. Oh no, I still believe in the song. And I still believe the time has come. Let me hear you sing, yeah, oh yeah. Raise your hands up high. Raise your hands up high. Let me hear you singing, yeah, oh yeah. Raise your hands up, your hands up, your hands up high now. Raise your hands up, raise your hands up high. Let me hear you singing. I hear the music when I'm walking down the street. I hear the sound of a sweet melody, and a single voice, Lord, could start a revolution. And I do believe in the song, and I do believe the time has come, and I do believe in the song, and I do believe the time has come. And there you have it. Thanks. I'm assuming you're clapping. I'll just assume that you're clapping. Okay. So I just want to say once again, thanks for showing up and enjoying the show. And I just want to let you all know that one of the reasons why I decided to do this on YouTube rather than on Facebook was, among the reasons, was because I wanted to let all of you know that I have a YouTube channel and that it is my intention to make it a really, really fabulous channel. It's sort of been languishing. I haven't been using it very well, but recently I've had a lot of free time, and I've had an opportunity to learn more about this technology and come up with some sort of a plan to make it work for me and for all of you just a little bit better. So if you're interested, please do subscribe to this channel. Once we get to 1,000 subscribers, at that point, certain things open up to us. You get access to other features that'll make it easier to create these videos and to send them out to you, including better sound quality. And so yes, please do subscribe. And of course, I guess I should mention that this is sort of a pass the hat event, meaning that somewhere down there in the description, when you click on it, you'll have an opportunity to send an email money transfer, or perhaps make a donation through PayPal. Either way, I certainly would appreciate it. And of course, it is pay what you can, meaning, of course, that I know a lot of you aren't doing great, and that you just want to listen. And of course, that's absolutely cool. I hope you do. I hope you dig the show a whole bunch. And I hope that if there's something you're missing, that you write in and let me know what you want to hear, so that the next time I do something like this, I'm able to nail your requests for you. All right, here we go. So I'm going to do something once again that none of you have heard, I don't think. Well, if you're my neighbor in Hamilton, I live in. For those of you who don't know, I live in Hamilton, Ontario now, and Hamilton, Ontario, for those other people who don't know, is a very, very industrialized town. And what can I say about it? I used to drive home a lot at night after doing shows in Toronto, and at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I used to sometimes pull over on the side of the road and just sort of contemplate the north end of Hamilton that you see from the QEW, and ended up writing a song from that experience, and it goes like this. Here we go. Queen Elizabeth Highway, 8 lanes wide. in the small dark hours of a Saturday night. Quiet as a church, not a soul inside. I put in the clutch and take the Esport Drive. I take the Esport Drive in the middle of the night. Well, for better or worse, I know I'm alive. I smell the bitumen on Burlington and Copeland and Steel. And at least for a moment, I know what's real. I take the Esport Drive in the middle of the night. Devil holds a torch up over the bay. Fireball burns with a soundless ray. Lit rich floor sings a mariner's hymn like Gregorian monks underneath my rim. And the steel gutter skyway is solemn and black like a dead man's cathedral by the great smokestack. Moon hangs low in our carcinogen sky, throws a faint glow across the Esport Drive. I take the Esport Drive in the middle of the night. Well, for better or worse, I know I'm alive. I smell the bitumen on Burlington and Copeland and Steel. And at least for a moment, I know what's real. I take the Esport Drive in the middle of the night. Do you know what your soul sees when you're going that line and you shake off the shackles of a troubling mind? Southbound on Tesla through a world full of sin. Can you see that looking out is the same as looking in? I'm asking. And I don't need no doctor to say it's alright, and I don't need no preacher to show me the light. I just need one cup of coffee and 2 lucky strikes in an hour alone along the Esport Drive. I take the Esport Drive in the middle of the night. Well, for better or worse, I know I'm alive. I smell the bitumen on Burlington and Copeland and Steel. And at least for a moment, I know what's real. I take the Esport Drive in the middle of the night. You might be saying a prayer or confessing your creed. You might be down on the throes of a sweet ecstasy. You might be running your life on a dangerous street. You might be running the waves of some treacherous sea, or see the end of days in a sliver of light, or feel the kingdom come like a thief in the night. You might be looking your killer straight in the eyes. You might be gunning your Chevy on the Esport Drive. I take the Esport Drive in the middle of the night. Well, for better or worse, I know I'm alive. I smell the bitumen on Burlington, on Copeland and Steel. And at least for a moment, I know what's real. I take the Esport Drive, yeah, in the middle of the night. In the middle of the night. In the middle of the There you go. That's a song about my town, Hamilton. This is called Esport Drive. I thank you very much. I think I'll do something that you might find surprising. I debuted this song in Toronto. Well, no, that's deceptive. Oh, that's not clear. The first time I played it in Toronto, I had played it in several other places over the years, actually, and the song had sort of fallen out of my repertoire for a while there, but it sort of made a comeback when I did I sat in on a St. Patrick's Day show. I think it was at the Horseshoe Tavern, so that would have been Martian Awareness. And I remember being so delighted because all the people there sang along, even though they didn't know the song, because it has this sort of kind of a very hooky little bridge that sort of goes like this. La da da dee da da dee. La da da dee da da dee. So you're welcome to sing along that part. And yes, it is, in fact, my attempt to create a sort of a modern Celtic folk song, as it were. From some years ago, this is called O'Flaherty's Moons. On the last luckless day of a gravel grey March, O'Flaherty wanders these streets after dark, and he stands in the place where he once met a girl, and he thinks of a love that is timeless and pure, and he looks to the stars with his arms open wide, and declares a great longing to an indifferent sky, and he throws back his head and he lets slip a tune that springs like the blood from O'Flaherty's wounds. La da da dee da da dee. La da da dee da da dee. Her eyes burned with bliss as she begged him his kiss. On a dingy, dirty side street he met with her lips, and he swore a great love that would last his life long. One morning in summer he found she was gone, and how can it be that a man so beset sings of joy and of sorrow but never regret? How does love still endure for the woman he knew, who drew blood and brought light from O'Flaherty's wounds? And la da da dee da da dee. La da da dee da da dee. And as the last clutch of winter holds fast to these streets, O'Flaherty dances with wings on his feet, and this bastard stigmata that spills on his sleeve fills him with wonder and sweet ecstasy. And so they all gather like pilgrims in kind, the loveless and drunken and sickly of mind, and the wind chills their flesh like a stone on the tomb. Still they bask in the warmth of O'Flaherty's wounds. La da da dee da da dee. La da da dee da da dee. And it's neither this moon nor this yellow lamplight that lets us throw shadows out here in the night. Shadows drop to their knees behind me and you, as they bow to the light in O'Flaherty's wounds. da-dee, da-da-dee, as they bow to the light and old Flaverty's woe. And that one's called O'Flaherty's Wounds, and hopefully one of these days I'll get around to making a nice recording of it. Before this whole thing exploded around the world, I was still planning on doing some gigs, and I even had a St. Patrick's Day gig booked, and I was hanging out at a local saloon here on King Street called Rebels Rock, and I was hanging out with some people who are really remarkable, talented Irish folk musicians, and I was getting all kinds of crazy ideas about arrangements for that song. And now, of course, everything fell apart and everything's on hold until such time. But, you know, soon we'll have people here in this room with me, and we'll be doing little ensemble bits. We'll be doing little concerts. I hope so, anyway. I hope very much so. I think I'll continue with this. I think with a song like that seems as sort of the tragic side of desire. Maybe I'll do one as an antidote, which is more of a song that explores the dangerous and enticing side of desire. How's that sound? Slouch of a wee crooked street, in the door of a dog-eared saloon, there's a girl who's lit up by the moon, my lord, and a song won't let memory sleep. Well, there's a gourmet rhythm maestro frying bacon on a piccolo snap. Some bebop, Baudelaire, my lord, the Gastratum, contrabasso. And it seems I have lost my way, oh Lord. Seems I have lost my way. And the wolf would bid me to take off the moon if I could get back there again. Where the music is lovely and sad, and the cadence is slippery and sweet, like sex in the sweltering heat, my lord, like dancers who whistling to the jazz. Well, they grind and they sweat and they steam and they sink themselves deep into pleasure, and they smolder where others are smothered, Lord, and they dance that their children might dream. And it seems I have lost my way, oh Lord. Seems I have lost my way. And the wolf would bid me to take up the moon if I could get back there again. And her fingertips snake up my sleeve, and her cherry lips brush up my ear, and she tells me what I wanted to hear, my lord, what I wanted so much to believe. She says, ain't it true, that a wolf can be blamed for craving the raw taste of flesh. And is temptation much different than this, my Lord, when hunger and desire feel the same? And it seems I have lost my way, oh Lord. Seems I have lost my way. And the wolf would bid me to take up the moon if I could get back there again. I waste a whole minute to go look for a foe. I find one down by the station. Don't waste my time on explanations, Lord. I just tell them I ain't never going home. Coming home. It's called A Wolf Surrenders to Fate, and thank you. All right. Now let's do something light. We need something light. I'll do something sort of, I guess we'll make it a thematic thing, and I'll do Summer Haze, because it's just a song about love and affection and fidelity rather than all this salacious sexual stuff here. Here we go. I just want to remind you all once again that this is a virtual Pass the Hat event here online, and I have two basic requests of you. One, that you subscribe to my channel, and two, that if you can afford it in these crazy times, put something in the virtual hat, either by sending me an email money transfer or donating through PayPal. All the links are just below me here. Just click on the description and that should set you up just fine. And here's Summer Haze. I don't care about the bugs on the vine, or if the hay comes off the field in time. If the cows come home, it would suit me fine to rest with you down here in the shade. While the town is burning up with our humidity, while the grass is cool beneath the willow tree, you can sit yourself down. If you're good to me, we can spend forever together in the summer haze. Well, when the days get too rough, I'll throw up and pray. When the times get too blue, I'll be on holiday. I'll make you breakfast, toast and marmalade. When the sun's too hot, I'll be your shade. 'Cause even when it's hot and sticky outside, I know in my heart that I will be satisfied if I could spend the rest of my life all together with you in the summer haze. One more time. Let's do it one more time. What the heck, eh? We got time. Well, the days get too rough, I'll throw up a ray. Well, the times get you blue, I'll be your holiday. I'll make you breakfast, toast and marmalade. Well, the sun's too hot, I'll be your shade. 'Cause when it's hot and sticky outside, I know in my heart that I will be satisfied if I could spend the rest of my life out together with you in the summer. Hey, hey, hey. Oh, that was nice. I like that. That was fun to play. We should do another one like that. What's another sort of I used to love, playing sort of songs with jazzy progressions on the acoustic guitar. I still do, but there was a time where I was virtually obsessed with it. Suffer. This was a popular one. I remember when a friend of ours, a friend of many of us, James B. Throws these lovely parties where he invites people to sing. He calls it a salon, and people come. I've seen many very talented, lovely Toronto people play at the salons, and this was a favorite. I would often show up and try to sneak in on the bill, and this one would get requested a lot because it sort of fit with this whole sort of jazz feel. In fact, yeah. It's also in C, so it kind of moves together nicely. Kind of round after hour. Speakeasy, my friend, speakeasy. I heard a cadence in the rhythm and in the rumble down on the street. One sweet chorus comes to mind. Speakeasy, my friend, speakeasy. As the swaggered slack in my staggered step gives into a melody, and it ain't 'cause I'm lazy, baby. It's just there's nothing that I wanna do. Nothing seems worth doing if I gotta do it without you. And I know you're angry and I know you ache, but speak easy, my friend, speak easy. And an amber glows inside your coat, the sizzles next to your heart. You're just like all the rest of us in this speakeasy, my friend, speakeasy. Hang dog blue under the breath, me down and now. Clear on the start, and it ain't 'cause I'm lazy, baby. It's just there's nothing that I wanna do. 'Cause nothing seems worth doing if I gotta do it without you. I say now, throw back your head and swing wild at the moon. I'm toothed and crazy and torn up and raging. Wring out your guts like a dirty old rag. To the tears, burn furrows of your eyes, down your face. And then put up a chair Raise a glass. Speak easy, my friend, speak easy. Someday we'll be happy again. How about for tonight? We rest fallow in the blue. And I know an old whiskey barrel. Speak easy, my friend, speak easy. And a song we used to sing there. And a girl that I once knew. And a song we used to sing there. And a girl that I once knew. And nothing seems worth doing if I gotta do it without you. Yeah, I haven't played that one in a long time. That's Speakeasy. That's from one of the older records. That was the one we ended up calling. What did we call that record? Defiance. I hope no one from the record company's watching this. When we called the record Defiance, the original release was self-titled. It was just called Big Rude Jake. But yeah, we decided when we repackaged it to sell it off the stage, we decided to call it Defiance. Mostly because we weren't supposed to do that. We were kind of breaking the rules. Now, just to be fair and just to protect my ass, so we eventually did get an agreement with the record company that we could sell copies of the record from the stage. But originally, we sort of did it illegally, and I was counseled that it was a very, very bad idea, that I was swimming with sharks, as it were, and I guess I was poor and had nothing to lose, so I defied the rules and called the record Defiance and sold a couple of copies that way. Anyway, the record is still not available anywhere in the world except from me. One of the bizarre circumstances of the music industry. So one of these days I got to get around to writing an official sounding letter, or maybe getting a lawyer to write an official sounding letter saying, you're not making money off of this record, and you're preventing Jake from making money. I think there's some sort of legal avenue, some sort of, I don't know, it's a law that, you can't actually prevent someone from making money just because you feel like it. So, there has to be some sort of fiduciary responsibility that you're feeling to yourself or to your shareholders or stakeholders. You just can't say, no, I don't want you to make money, blah, blah, blah. So, anyway, that's way in the future. Right now, let's get this YouTube channel going, and let's make some people happy in these crazy, crazy times. I'm just going to consult my list here. Let's see what we got here. This is another one that's new that we haven't had a chance to do for too many people. And it's another one of those songs that sort of got lost in the shuffle of life. I wrote it a couple of years ago while I was on tour in France, and I was hanging out with my good friend Allison Young, a remarkable sax player from Toronto, and our wonderful host, Louis, put us up in his beautiful house in Normandy, and we just had a wonderful time there. And on Allison's advice, I wrote Louis a song, or at the very least, I wrote a song for him as a kind of a gift for his kindness, because he also booked the whole tour, him and his and all the other people in the French version of the Big Rouge Jake Band. Those men got together and they worked very hard and did some great work for us, and we all had a lot of fun. So this is a song that we wrote for them. Now, this song has nothing to do with them. Let's make this absolutely clear. The song has to do mostly with our collective political feelings, our points of view. And I added a kind of a faux Spanish guitar thing in it because Louis, even though he's a very, very proud French citizen. I think he was actually born in Spain. So there you go. So I had a little Spanish, faux, phony Spanish guitar in the, the, the bridge areas, so that so as to honor that part of his heritage. Here we go. This is the song. Here we go. I met a man from Riverside who could tell the most amazing lies. I watched him as the crowd would gather, enchanted by his blither blather. He thundered with a grave intent, spreading fear and discontent. The crowd would rave and scream for blood and roam the streets with shivs and clubs. Horrified, I stopped to ask him just what exactly had possessed him. He gave his answer to my question with a certain smug self-satisfaction. I did it for the money. I did it for the money. For sacks of gold and cold hard cash, and no one can find fault with that. And I know it's hard to understand, but I've got clients and a business plan, and their expectations rest on this, that my heart be filled with avarice. The answer is simple, sonny. I did it for the money. I met a man from Chesapeake who sold weapons to the enemy, and guns and tanks to thugs and thieves and tin pot despots in league. He watched 10,000 die in vain, children slaughtered, mothers slain. Just a vengeful handful remained, ensuring it would all start up again. I looked at him quixotically and asked him how he utterly abandoned his humanity. He just laughed and said to me, I did it for the money. I did it for the money. For sacks of gold and cold hard cash, and no one can find fault with that. For across this land and from sea to sea, there's just one single moral creed above reason and democracy. It's simply pure and boundless greed. It's not mysterious or funny. I did it for the money. Here we go now. I met a man from the south of France who made a profit from a pestilence. He poisoned food and raped the land and scorched the earth like a firebrand. He sickened rivers, lakes, and streams, making garbage no one needs. As people gasped and gagged and choked, he filled the air with smog and smoke. I asked him, was he not afraid that they might hold him to his crimes one day? He cocked his head and asked me, how could I be so naive? I did it for the money. I did it for the money. And the market simply cannot bear these leaves and trees and fresh clean air. That's why every king and every priest will forever get down on their knees before the idol that decrees. We put enterprise before empathy. The answer is simple, son. I did it for the money. someday when the time is right, I'll sneak into your room at night. I'll hold you down and pull my knife and cut your throat and take your life. And I hope, my friend, you realize as you fade into your cold twilight, I will have my reasons why I made the move to snuff your light. And there won't be hate or rage or pride or madman's taste for fratricide or politics from left or right or some religious twisted blight. I'll do it for the money. I'll do it for the money. I'll find a way to monetize your ghastly, grisly, gross demise. And that's why all these pretty, petty rules are nothing but the dance of fools. There's no decency, save industry, and dollars are my destiny. So it's nothing personal, honey. I'll do it for the money. And there you have it. That one's called I Did It For The Money. And it looks like, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like the hour's just about up. We're finished, I think. But I feel like doing one more song. And I got to tell you, our setup here at Studio Jive is still kind of primitive. We've basically cobbled it together with things I've found from around the house. And every time I work on it, I find something else that I want to improve somehow or another. So, I can't read the scroll or any of the things that you might be saying to me at this time. So what I'm going to do, after I do my last final song, is I'm going to not necessarily stop the show. I'm going to go over and read the scroll and all the things that you've written. Skip over the nasty bits and just go to the pleasant stuff. So I'll end with one last song, but I don't know what it is. Let me check the old list. I'll tell you what. Why don't we just end with this one? This one's become a bit of a hit. It's also something that if you only have heard Big Ru Jake on record, you haven't had a chance to actually hear this one just yet because we haven't had a chance to record it. This is just a fun little ditty, a blues number that I wrote, I don't know, about maybe 2 years ago. It's been a bit popular at live shows. It's fun to play, and the lyrics are funny. So here we go. This is called A Saint, She Ain't. It goes like this. Well, I know a gal they call Gina Janine, the most versatile woman that I've ever seen. She knows history, biology, Latin, math. She knows the auto mechanics and Kansas City jazz. Well, she's lively and she's lovely. She's clever and quaint. She's a lot of things, brother, but a singer she ain't. I'll tell a saint she ain't. No, a saint she ain't. Her looks can be deceived, but it's a common complaint. She's a lot of things, brother, but a singer she ain't. Here we go. Yeah. I said a saint she ain't, honey. A saint she ain't. Her looks can be deceiving, it's a common complaint. She's a lot of things, brother, but I say she ain't. She's tenacious and vivacious, and she's tasty and tall. She's rather multi-talented, so she can do it all. She's the socialite's appetite, a rock on tour. She's a wheeler and a dealer and an entrepreneur. Out of all her attributes, might leave you feeling great. She's a lot of things, brother, but I say she ain't. I said I say she ain't. I say she ain't. Her red dress fits her like a fine coat of paint. She's a lot of things, brother, but I say she ain't. fits her like a fine coat of paint. She's a lot of things, brother, but the same she ain't. She tends to trip the life fantastic like an angel on a wing. And you'll take a trip to heaven every time you hear her sing. She's an artist, a guitarist, a poetess too. She can do the hokey pokey, she can dance the boogaloo. Oh, there's really only one fact that you yourself should acquaint. She's a lot of things, brother, but a singer she ain't. I'll say the same she ain't. I will say she ain't. Nah, she's known across the country for a lack of restraint. She's a lot of things, brother, but a same she ain't. And there you have it. Thank you very much, everybody who tuned in. I'm going to say that's the end of the musical portion, and I'm going to push the microphone away and go up to the screen and read your comments and maybe comment back to you. Hold on. Now, this is what I look like now. Yes. I got to get the mouse out here and move the screen back over here. This awkward. Oh, a whole bunch of people have been commenting. Let's take a look at what you all have to say. Oh, look, a whole bunch of things. Yes, indeed. Oh, yes, I'll tell you, John Smiley, I can't wait to get back to Alberta, specifically to Calgary. I was thinking about it this year, in fact. I've had so much fun in Alberta. Really, really great to play live music in Calgary. And I have a band. I have a regular band that knows all my stuff in Edmonton. They're a superb bunch of people. And I would love nothing better than to do a couple of shows with them. So I'll tell you what, John, I'll keep it in mind and do a little asking around, seeing if we can't get someplace. So there you go. Oh, yes, there was the bird. Yes, the bird was flying in. The bird's named Sparky, named after my mom. Yeah, and you might have actually heard some squawking because she actually parked herself right up here on the screen, right next to the microphone. Yeah, bird. So there we go. Oh, Tony wanted to hear Sheila's Going Downtown. Superb request. I should start writing all the requests down. That's an excellent one. I'll bring that up for sure. We're just gonna have to do more of these, I think. And Chili Bean, someone named Sideshow Tim asked for Chili Bean's Final Carouse. Yeah, we'll get to that one too. That's another great one. And I had a request earlier today from a show that I did a show earlier in the day for some of the people who are big Jake fans out in Europe, and someone requested a song called "The 17 Dreams of Cameron Bean," which is like a sequel to Chili Bean's Final Carouse. And yeah, that would actually make a really nice. That would make a really nice request to do those together. And Jason from Detroit. Awesome. I haven't been in Detroit for such a long time. Oh, and Sideshow Tim also wants to hear Front Street Belvedere. You guys make really good demanding requests. Greg, my friend Greg Rubich, I've played in this man's living room on occasion, at least once, I remember, and we did Magpie then. He wants some more. There we go. And Tony, we played the Saint Saint for you. And some folks from Ohio. Well, so awesome to hear from you. I hope you're doing well. I haven't been to Ohio. I don't know how long it's been. Oh, man. Oh, I'm getting all misty now. We got to get back to the States, too. Absolutely. And someone asked for Speakeasy, and we were able to fulfill that. That's great. Oh, and someone sent an e-transfer. Robert, thank you so much. Thank you kindly. Brian Sharwood, you're still alive. I'm pleased to hear that. How can you possibly be watching the show from the boat? My friend Brian's on a boat. Can you imagine? He was touring the world on a boat when this happened. I hope you're safe, Brian. That's all I got to say about that. Janet the Planet. Hello, my darling. Good to hear from you. No requests. There we go. And Robert Smith, you say, that's the one I have. You're talking about Defiance, the record Defiance. Yes, a lot of people got it from Walkin' Blues. Janet finally made a request, Walkin' Blues. That's a cover song. Would I be happy to do that one? We'll have to come up with a solid acoustic guitar version of that. Three Wishes. That's a really good request. And Leslie says it's an awesome show, and I thank you. And Alex is back for her second show today. Can't get enough of the Jake, I guess. Some people. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Oh, and there's Christina from Parkdale. Not from Parkdale, from Roncesvalles. How you doing? And my friend Rick Pa. That's great. Rick says, it felt like I was in his living room. I hope his wife doesn't feel that way, because I don't know whether she wants me to... That's not fair to say, but here you go. And here's someone named Forest Pirate who says the first time she saw Big Rude Jake was in the 90s when we opened for the Violent Femmes. Oh my goodness, I remember that show. That was insane. That was insane. Oh my goodness. That takes me back. Was that Guelph? Well, it was, wherever it was a great show. And Brian's in Antigua. Good, that sounds safe. All right, well, everybody, I've read the whole scroll, and I've taken note of your requests, and I want to say once again, thank you very much, and I'm going to say it to one more time. I'm going to say, please subscribe to the channel. Once we get about 1,000 subscribers, it's going to be easier to post videos online, and with your support, we're going to continue to cobble together the equipment we need to do as best a job as possible. Right now, as you can tell, the picture's still a little grainy. There's a lot of things we need to improve around here, but I just want to be able to give you just a knockout, excellent stream of great entertainment. I'm very fortunate to know a lot of really great musicians, and many of them know my book, as we say, and they can come in and we could do great versions, great alt versions of songs and new songs and stuff like that, maybe covers too. I think we just have so much fun. So stay in touch, please, folks. And I'm gonna say, and Forrest says yes, it was the University of Guelph where we opened for the Violent Femmes. Those poor men, they were exhausted. They must have been on tour every day and partying every night, because they were just completely exhausted. We could barely talk to them backstage. They could barely stand up. So, but it was still great to meet them and to play with them. Anyway, listen, folks, thanks very much for tuning in. As I say, this is the awkward part where I have to turn off the stream. So here we go. I got one more show tonight. I'm going to do a show for the West Coast people, although Janet's on the West Coast, and she's enjoying an afternoon, or is it a morning of Big Rude Jake? I'm not even sure. I can't get my time zone straight. But I'm going to end the stream now. Everybody, take good care of yourselves, and we'll talk soon.